Hey you guys, I'm here across the street from where I live. If you look right there, that is the Gulf State Park Pier. And this, in a minute, I will show you the very last condo just before you get to the State Park Pier. The State Park Pier is a great place to spend a day at the beach. You can park there. And if you park there, you can bring all your supplies just underneath next to the bridge. And people kind of really covet those spots because you can get in and out of the sun very easily, spend a day there. There's lots to do, there's plenty to eat. But one of the reasons I wanted to show you East Beach and to talk about East Beach is because this is really, well, first of all, this is where I live, across the street from the beach on East Beach, and it's a very quiet end of the beach. We are 1 mile down the street from the hangout, so we can literally walk there. There's plenty of places to eat. Sea and Suds is a half a mile between Royal Palms and the hangout, and there's many other places. I can't even name them off the top of my head that quickly. But anyhow, I wanted you to see East Beach, or what we call East Beach, is right down from on the east side of the Gulf State Pier. And this is the day after, this is July 5th, and it's a very, very busy time for us. And I wanted to talk about, so let's say that, okay, Michelle, we've decided we are going to buy a condo. We don't know where we want to buy a condo, but we do want to buy a condo. I'm going to talk a bit about East Beach and then the goals for buying a condo. You can buy a condo and rent it out. That's what investors do all the time. Some investors literally, now I have taken a look at some of the condos down East Beach, and you can see that very tall one's called the Colonnades, and right here behind me is Royal Palm. Royal Palm right now has got about 3 units for sale, 2 1-1s and a 2-2. So you're an investor and you want to buy a condo. Most of the time, investors have a goal for the funds that they use to pay for their condos, and they want to crunch the numbers. They ask for the rental projections, they ask for the actual renters, and we actually have a formula sheet to work out how to crunch the numbers. They call it a cap. They want a 10 cap, a 6 cap, a 7 cap. That's the percentage that they make after they have paid all the bills. And so investors do that a lot. My son Jonathan's really good at crunching the numbers. He enjoys doing all of that. All right, let's say, hey, Michelle, we want a second home. We want to pick a condo that we're going to use for our second home. But while we are using it as a second home and paying for it as a second home, we're going to take a loan. We're going to use a lender in purchasing this condo. We want to be able to rent it out. There's several things that you need to know about renting out your second home. Number one, it needs to be by the best view that you can possibly buy. And 2, it needs to be one of the first 3 rows along the beach. Gulf Shores, as well as Orange Beach, as cities, have tried to put together a game plan. How do we accommodate people that live here and pay taxes all year long? Well, everybody pays taxes all year long. But anyhow, they live here. This is their primary home. How do we accommodate them? How do we accommodate investors that invest in this beautiful, beautiful 22 miles of beach on Alabama and some of the prettiest beaches in the world They don't call it white sandy beaches for nothing. How do we accommodate those people that are investing their money and believe in the growth that's been happening here and believe in the future growth? How do we accommodate them? And then the second home owners. And second home owners may or may not rent it out. They'll rent it out to help accommodate paying some of the mortgage down. And there's a fine line between that. Of course, everybody wants for the rentals to actually pay for the unit. That is a very strategic formula. You've got to have a certain amount down. You've got to have a great view so you can rent it quite often. And so that's a formula that you have to put together. But back to the first 3 streets was my second point. You need, if you are going to use this as a condo and you're going to rent it out, to be able to rent it out, you must be on the first 3 streets. Now, there are a few places, and that's for another video. There are places that you can use as a second home, and they do rent out, and we'll do that later. But one of the first questions, if you're going to use your condo as a second home and rent it out to help it pay expenses or what the funds will pay, help pay down the mortgage, your question always needs to be, may I rent this one out? Is this rentable? Then you'll ask for the actual rentals, and then we can do projected rentals. The rentals are not hard and fast. Everything depends on the owner. You may rent a condo and I rent the one next to you, and you may always rent out better to me. And there's several factors in that. And so we'll have to discuss that. But anyhow, I can't do everything. I can't tell you all about the entire process in one video. It gets kind of lengthy. But your lender will help you with that. If you decide to use VRBO or Airbnb and rent it out yourself, there's some things that I can help you with and guide you in that direction. Or if you decide to use a rental agency, there are several large rental agencies, small, very personable agencies that we can give you their names and how to get in touch with them and work on that project. So you decided on a condo. You've got to decide, do we want to rent it out? Do we just want to use it for ourselves? And then where do we want it? Here on East Beach, this is a great place to have a unit, and it's one of your options in buying at the beach. Hey, that's enough for now. I want to see you here on the beach. Give me a call. Don't hesitate to text. I'll answer your questions. If it takes you a month, if it takes you a year, I've worked with people for several years. I remember talking to someone, we got them in a condo, and then they reminisced, Michelle, I think we've been working on this with you and Pierce for about 3 years. So whatever your time frame is, we'll work with you. The next, give me a ring. Let me know how you're doing and what can I do for you to help you along this process. Talk to you later. See you online. Better yet, see you at the beach.